In this part, we'll be working on our login component and profile component. We'll just build the login component, profile component, and see how things are going to look like here. So I'm just going to type in here input group right here because we just need to kind of text boxes to make this work. I'm going to copy this into the login component. Go down to the login component, and first I'll just like to call it as login component. It's kind of spelling issue. And then just paste the first text box right over here. Remember, this is going to be possibly a username, right? So we'll call it as username. And the input type text box is going to have what we call as a local uh, you know reference, and let's call it as username. Now, why I'm doing this here is we have already discussed this, and I can display the value of username dot value, something like this, on when I bind it with an event. That's kind of the easiest way to get the values from this. So on a change event, I'll just do nothing. Nothing really means, I mean, zero, you could do anything else here as well. Make it like an event. So could be change, and change really means that the values have changed. And let's just try this right here. Now, to run the bootstrap, of course, we'll also need the CDN link. So I'll just copy this from here. We've done this several times, I'm sure. And in the index.html, though there are better ways of doing this again, but I'll just, as of now, print this right here. And so this is CDN is available now. So the routing app really, I mean, I've got the, the links as well working. So this is login, this is profile, and then I just need to build this furthermore. So username, and I just need to go here and build one more right here, which is password. So copy this whole thing, and we'll build like password field. Now remember, this is going to be password, and then you might just use the password value here as well. I mean, I'll just try it with one. If that works, I think it's going to work for password as well. So the well, they just look like both usernames. I'm just going to change this to password, and I'm just kind of looking for a basic add-on ID because it's going to be used in somewhere for. So just make it 2 here. Right, though it doesn't really matter, but still, I'll just get it right. So let's see. I mean, the placeholder still displays this. So let's say, enter password and enter username. Okay, so we've got some basic UI done, and then let's just type in here. Only press tab. The moment you press tab, right, it just gives you the change event is fired, and then the local value can be retrieved from here. That's all I just wanted to make you see right here. Now, of course, to get these values, we'll need a button in the application. So I'm just going to go down and search for a button, and I think I'll just do away with the primary button right here. So copy this, and I'll paste this button here towards the end. And then this button really does what? Just tries to log in the user. And we'll create a method called just a click event right here. And we'll just type in here, log in the user. Something like that. Now, to add more to this, login user, I'll just kind of create the functionality, which is login. And what you really want to do is first capture the values of these, username and password, which is quite easy, right? You can just type in here username.value, comma. That's the first parameter, and then password dot value. Now remember the username and password that I'm going to get here are going to be string types. I'm just going to mention them here. So username and password to be string type values. So once I get them, I'm just going to do an AJAX call here possibly to send this to the server, and then I'll take a decision right here. If the authentication is successful, we're gonna navigate to the profile page, and we'll do it programmatically, not using the link. So profile page programmatically, or by using a program. I am really confused with the spelling as of now. So and else case, when it is not, then I'm just going to do something else, which is just kind of display a message here. Display an error message. So that's what we have to do, right? If the navigation is successful, we'll go on and go to the next page. Otherwise, we'll just hang on here. Now on the profile page, I think I've just kind of displayed profile component. That's sufficient as of now. I mean, it's just that user is validated, he can go there. He is not validated, he can just stay here itself on the login page here. So the first thing that I'm going to do right here in this application is I'm going to take away the routing components routes, because I don't really want a I don't really want a static navigation right here. I just want a programmatic navigation. So this is not really needed. So every time the screen opens up, it's going to open up like a login component, and then only when I'm login right here, it's going to go to the profile. Right, that's the only route. Now if I just type in here Puneet, it is not a password field. We'll do that change and do a console.log. Nothing happens. Okay, so maybe we've just done something wrong. Go down to the login component and we'll fix this. So the login method has been called on the click event. Should have done this, and the input type here should be password. Login, and the method name is login as well. Oh, we didn't really do anything right here. So this is a console.log. The username, comma, the password. Save this, and I'll just type in test, and we'll try to log in. So we get test here, which means we can just do an issue an AJAX call. Now remember, the way we did AJAX, of course, is we'll just kind of create a dummy authentication URL. Otherwise, we'll have to do something server side. So I just do dummy.json right here, and I'll just hardcode the value of auth, like authentication, to be true or false. So we'll just keep changing the values from here, and then we'll hit this request. Now to do this, service call, I might have constructed a service, but our focus is mainly on single page applications, not on the services part. So we'll do it from the component here itself. Now to do this, of course, we'll have to first go to the module, import the HTTP module, and if you don't really get the import, then type in here HTTP module from and Angular HTTP. So that's going to get you the HTTP services in your application. The next thing, of course, is to go down to the login application and type in here in the constructor HTTP of type HTTP, and issue an import for HTTP. And this is wrong, so this it's kind of node model, right? So you don't really need the directory structure and HTTP from here. Just make this private maybe, so that's just used within the component. And then I'm going to issue the request, which is this dot HTTP dot get to the assets slash dummy .json folder, and not a JSON folder, but it's kind of a dummy URL, and then to promise, and we'll just use then statement to get the response, convert this to response.json, and another then statement right here, which can get us data, and we'll just as of now do a console.log of data right now. Okay, so let's see. I mean, I'll go here and I'm going to type. It doesn't really matter even if you don't really type anything because it's kind of hard-coded this data. And it's not still able to do this assets dummy .json. Maybe I'll just kind of kept the wrong name here. Yeah, assets. And I'll just do this here, and then we get authentication true. And then, whenever we just need to change the scenario, just manually go here, make it false, right? And then that will be our failure case. So let's test on, what to do in the false. Now, I think let's code the false case right here, and then we'll go into the next video and talk about how to, navigate programmatically here as well. So, I mean, I can just check this here now. So if data.auth, and that's what we've discussed, right? If authentication success, then do this, else do this. So I'm just going to code my, comments right here. So if, in fact, it's going to happen here. So I'll console.log and type in here, if data.auth, that means your success, then we'll now navigate to the next page. I'll still keep it commented for the next video. And in the else case, I just had to show a message. Now, remember, we've done it several times, but we can still do it. Message as a string type, which is, initially blank. And then we go down to the get bootstrap, look out for alerts. We'll take a look at, a warning message maybe possibly. So warning right here. And we'll just show it in the login component over here, isn't it? And the contents, of course, are going to be determined by the message itself. So just type in here, message. Right. So message, we gonna put the message in this case. Let's type in here, if this dot message is, usual case, of course, is going to be invalid username or password. And if this happens, then just kind of display this message right here. And I'll put an ng statement right here. ng, so star ng if, and tell that, only when message is not equal to null, then only display this right here. So our case is that as of now, it's going to be false case. We're going to test on this. And as we click on this, it says invalid username and password. Refresh this. I think it's still displaying this yellowish message. Maybe the condition is not correct right here, which is if the message is, okay, it's not blank actually. Yeah, so it's not null. And then if you just log in, right, it's invalid username and password. So that's it about the video. This particular video, because we've discussed on how to draw the login component, and the profile component exists. There's no programmatic navigation as of now. So we'll discuss that in the next video. See you there.